Hey, what's up guys, Duo here. I want to bring to you guys a quick banlist prediction for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel because it seems that it's probably going to be happening pretty soon with the recent update that we had, which is going to prep us for a new and bigger update with esports and stuff like that. So figured I'd give my thoughts, kind of start a little discussion about this. So let's get into it. So I think it's important to establish with any Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list sort of a list of things that we can expect not to happen. Obviously, with stuff like the TCG, things like new releases are not going to get hit. Things, like high rarity cards like secret rares, we know normally get kind of shoved under the rug, we'll say. And I think a similar thing is going to happen with Master Duel. First of all, one thing that I definitely do not believe is going to get hit are cards that have their own dedicated animations. I think that cards that are animated are basically deconfirmed to at least be banned. And so I think with that sort of clue in mind, we can imagine that cards like True King of All Calamities, Rongo Miniad, they're probably not going to get banned, unfortunately, as much as I think that they should, but it's just something we should expect. And then the other thing that we should expect not to happen is ultra rare cards getting banned. On the last list, which was a horrible list, I think we only had one super rare and no ultra rares move around, and I'm pretty sure that one was Cyber Angel Ben 10. I think that they're going to be a little bit harsher this time. I think they are going to be willing to move ultra rares, from 1, 2, 3, stuff like that, and I think they're going to be willing to ban super rares. But I really don't see ultra rares getting banned anytime soon. So what is the problem with Master Duel? Does it need to be balanced in any way? And if so, what's the problem? At the end of the day, what is the problem? The problem is very simple. Obviously, you can say best of one, but I think that that's what the game is, and so we should really balance around how best of one works, and that of course is going to be the coin toss. Because of how strong combo decks are and how easy it is for them to play through hand traps, losing the coin toss is essentially a bit of a death sentence. It's very difficult to win losing the coin toss because even if you have cards like Max C to stop your opponent, that isn't a guarantee that you are going to break their board. And additionally, due to cards like Called by the Grave being at 2, Crossout Designator being at 3, Ash Blossom being at 3, you aren't even guaranteed to resolve the hand traps if you open them in the first place. And so I think that those are going to be a bit of a focus. And then the other end of the combo spectrum is obviously the end boards. End boards are simply just ridiculous. With cards like the Hauka Fibrax Auroradon engine, the Adventurer engine with the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer Verte engine, it just becomes an absolute cesspit, and it becomes borderline impossible to break boards. So I think that that is going to be the primary target of this list. So let's get started with the list. And we're going to start off with our first limited card, and that is going to be Called by the Grave. Like I said, I don't think ultra rares will get banned, but normally I wouldn't even think that they'd move at all, but considering that they released Water Enchantress of the Temple and Rite of Aramesir at 2, I think it's not impossible for an ultra rare to move around. Something that we also have to go off of is that Crossout Designator has its animation. So I think that that kind of shows that they are going to try to keep Crossout Designator in the game, but then they'll try to reduce Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is just a better card in general. It's more versatile, but it serves basically the same purpose as Crossout Designator, so it's definitely a big problem. And putting it to 1 doesn't solve the problem, but it's just kind of a good nerf to have. And that's our only limit, and now we're going to go to the bans. And our first ban is going to be Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Hauka Fibrax is obviously a problem card, but Auroradon just cranks the problem up to 1,000,000. Hauka Fibrax kind of says, okay, maybe we can do something, if we have an additional monster to work with. It basically takes the added stuff and it amplifies an existing combo. Auroradon makes Hauka Fibrax a ridiculous combo in and of itself. As long as you have a card to discard off of Jet Synchron, Auroradon basically becomes like a 3 disruption board. You have your Danglong with the 9 Pillars of the Yang Zing, you have your Borreload Savage Dragon, and you also have your Thunder Dragon Colossus. So it becomes a very difficult, but also incredibly accessible thing to out. And when you hit Auroradon, you realistically are just kind of hitting the overall ceiling of what combo decks can do. And I think it's a very healthy ban. And then for our second ban, we have Fusion Destiny. This is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which is enabled by Predaplant Verte Anaconda. I think that the Master Duel devs knew going into the, making the game and setting card rarities that they probably knew that Fusion Destiny was going to be a banned card, which is why it's a rare. So I think they're just going to go after that to stop Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. And that's it. I think there's only going to be 3 real hits on this list. I know people don't want to hear that, but like maybe there's going to be a bunch of weird semi-limited cards like they did last list. But I think it's going to be very minimal, and it's going to serve the purpose of lowering the combo ceiling of the game in preparation for their new Kaiba Cup or whatever it's called. I don't think this ban list will solve a lot of problems. You still have Calamities and Rongo, and Prank Kids Adventure is still going to be incredibly strong. But I think it's just designed to reel in a lot of the powerful decks. So that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like the video. Peace!